Hello my fellow Squid Game fans. Boy, do I have something for you guys watching. You know how we've all been waiting for some news about the Squid Game reality show? Well, we got more than just some news. We got both a sneak peek and a teaser, and to be frank, no one has explained in depth the hidden details that are going on in these two things. I don't know which one freaked me out the most, but anyways, like and subscribe so you guys can enjoy and you guys can understand everything going on in the new season 2 The Challenge. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this sneak peek. The sneak peek wasn't modest in any way. It was like Netflix was trying to make a statement with a sneak peek, because instead of showing us some conversations in the dormitory or at least letting us see the players entering the games, they went straight to the games. Don't get your excitement in a twist. I'll tell you which game was being played. So, the game that we saw in the sneak peek was the six-legged pentathlon. I know, unbelievable, right? They replicated the rainbow tracks from the original show. And like normal, 5 players had their legs tied together. But they changed some of the mini games. Remember that in the original show, the games that were played were Dekachi, Flying Stone, Gonji, Panji, and Jeggi. But in the sneak peek of Squid Game, The Challenge, there were a few changes. There were only 2 mini games revealed in the sneak peek, and the first one is Ball in the Cup. For those of you who don't know it, it's a game where a player swings a ball into the air and tries to catch the cup with a cup. One particular player was struggling with this game in the sneak peek. He paused several times to take deep breaths, but it seemed like his deep breaths were not any help to him because he just kept failing. Lucky for him though, he was eventually able to get it. The second mini game that we saw in the sneak peek was Bizokchi. Sorry guys if I don't know how to pronounce it that well, but I'm trying my best. This was one of the games we saw in the original show. I hated the game in the original show. It was no shock to me when I felt the same emotion while watching the sneak peek. You must be wondering why I hate this game so much. And my reason is simple. It is cruel. One player has to use a rock to knock down a small tombstone. And every time he or she misses, the entire team has to walk forward so he'll pick up the rock up. And they have to walk back to the designated position from which the rock will be thrown again. I don't know about you guys, but I find it incredibly difficult to walk while my legs are tied to people. It's not like I know how to do that already. Anyways, now, imagine if a player misses hitting the small tombstone about 3 or more times. That would be quite the hell. And don't forget that they have to finish the entire pentathlon before the timer runs out. I wish you could see how frustrated I physically am just talking about this. Anyways, we saw some players hit the tombstone, the small tombstone, in the first try. And we saw some players struggle and had to try several times before they were able to hit it. It was nerve-wracking for their teammates and for me who was watching the sneak peek. Anyways, that's it for the sneak peek. Next is the teaser, so brace yourself. The teaser opened in the dormitory, and the first thing that caught my eyes was the X and the O on the floor. Seeing that, I immediately knew that the players would have to vote like in the original show. But I have one question. What exactly are they voting for? Because it cannot be whether they should leave us to continue the game. Think about it. The reason players in the original show wanted to leave the games was because people were dying, and that made them scared. And we can't blame them. The thought of being the next one that could lose their life was terrifying. But in the reality show, the only thing you could lose is the chance to win money. So what are they exactly voting? Anyways, the frontman announces that the next game is going to begin. It's so crazy seeing him again. I miss him so much. And we see sneak peeks of different games. We see the spinning mingle horse and the rainbow tracks of the six-legged pentathlon game. Then we get to see a view of the players all standing and listening to the frontman's announcement in the dormitory. Yup, you heard that right. The frontman went to the dormitory to make an announcement himself. That's just so crazy. We then hear one of the players say that $4.56 million is nothing to sneeze about. And he couldn't be more correct. I mean, that's not a modest amount. And I can honestly think of a good amount of things that I can accomplish with $4.56 million. But enough of my imaginations. We then get to see a prize of money falling into the piggy's bank, and after that we get to see the Mingle Game arena in all its glory. I was really curious to see if they would replace the Mingle Game with another game because of the volume of the set, but I guess they didn't. I think the Mingle game is the game that will mess with the players' heads the most. There will be instantaneous betrayal that most people won't be able to believe. And sure, those of you who have never been to a camp will say a few days is too quick to get really close or even develop feelings for people. But just you wait and see. After that, we got to see another game that will be played in this season. It's called Slides and Ladders. I'm guessing it's a different version to Snakes and Ladders, if you use your brain. The setup is just marvelous. Each number is big enough for a player to stand on it. I'm really curious to see how it will be played. After that, we see a team of players all sitting on the floor during the 6-leg pentathlon game. One of the players was playing the Gonji game. It's the game where a player tosses and catches stones. Then we saw a player being shot after failing a game. And it made me laugh, because I hadn't forgot that the players in the reality show also get shot when they fail, but just with ink. I have a question though. Does the reality show employ snipers to shoot players with ink bags when they fail? Just a curious question. Anyways, we then see the Mingle game again, and this time the hall is dimly lit, but we can see the worry on the faces of the players, and out of nowhere, All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled started playing as they showed up in different shots, from a player dancing to players playing the 6-leg pentathlon, to the release date of the show being November 4th, and I don't know if all the episodes will drop at once. I'm guessing that will be the case. We then see the frontman announcing that a vote will now take place, and I'm really curious to see what the percentage of X and O players will be. Anyways, we even get to see the room where a new game will be played, and the game is Catch. And I really want to see how that will go as well, because the game in the room is just so beautiful. We then see marbles. Yep, they'll be playing marbles this season. The same marble game that our favorite Ali died in. Well, it's not his favorite game, but it's kind of sad he died, okay? Seriously. But the next scene was my absolute favorite in the entire teaser. In this scene, we got to see a player jumping so happily like a child towards the voting machine. And when he got to the machine, you won't believe how he voted. He used his forehead to click the X button. I mean, I don't think I need to say it, but who does this remind you of? Thanks. Our favorite purple-haired villain from season 2 of the original show. I think that guy is the main reason I'm going to watch this season of the Squid Game The Challenge. Well, him and a pink-haired lady. She stole the tiny scenes she popped up in, looking so cheerful. I think those are the players I'll be rooting for and keeping my eye out because they look very interesting. Although the guy I'm definitely rooting for is the guy who said that there's no line he's not willing to cross to win. Jeez, he sounds like he just wants to snap. But that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm so excited for season 2 of the challenge. Let me know down below if I should also stream the countdown. I will do it soon for you guys because, you know, I love streaming and I haven't streamed for a while, so definitely turn on notifications if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out and take care.